1.3 Awareness Cycle Influence. Who do you influence and who influences you? Mr. Ken Blanchard, a really famous leadership guru, says the key to successful leadership today is influence, not authority. And Dr. Sharmi Patel writes, influence requires passion, forming a strong emotional bond within yourself and with others. Consulting a client headquartered in San Antonio, Texas, this was a team of really brilliant business intelligence data scientists. And their work product was consumed by dozens and dozens of companies, all within their area, and hundreds around the globe. They were so cerebral and just undeniably effective at data science. But they found that every time they wanted to reanalyze the business intelligence for deep learning and some of their deep learning products, they got stuck because some of the requirements of deep learning is empathy. And what's really powerful about about us as human beings is we not only intellectually consume information, we emotionally connect with information. So just because we have the smartest computers doesn't mean we have the most deeply connected workforces and the most deeply connected conversations with people who are very cerebral. So it takes energy and effort to invest in the emotional bond as well as the intellectual engagement. And that's where we see success with influence. Dr. Sharmi Patel really nailed it when she talked about passion. We believe that passion is the key ingredient to influence. Think about when you were in grade school, just growing up, just building what it means to be a friend. Think about what you connected with your friends about. Before there were employment decisions and you had to think about earning a living, you built relationships based on passion. What were you passionate about? I was passionate about my little Matchbox car, my little Mark 8. I still remember it. I was always fucking holding it in my hand. I always could feel it. A little white little Matchbox car with the number 8 on it. And all the boys in the neighborhood, we'd actually race our little Matchbox cars. We put them on the top of a hill and just let them roll down toward the storm drain. And whoever went to the storm drain first obviously would win. And Mark 8 was so fast that my cousin actually asked me to put it in the back of the pack because he was tired of me winning. And Mark 8 still won. And there was one other guy who was like, hey Lee, like, what is it about Mark 8 that makes it so fast? And we actually got to talking. And I had a little secret. I would put a little bit of WD-40 on the back axle of my little Mark 8. And because of that, I stayed faster. I connected with that young man. His name was Jason. And we're friends to this day. And we connected over passion. Passion unifies the neural pathways of existence with higher brain function. So it's not just making friends that passion is why passion is so important. It actually has a neural pathway effect. Passion ignites the primal fire both in our hearts and our minds. The people who we love with a passion. And it's an undeniable, almost palpable feeling when you're truly passionate. Passion is undeniable, it's attractive, and it's sensed. And we as human beings are really good at sensing. And as you groom your passion, you will naturally groom your influence. When you look at your value web, You have increased your awareness of what your unhealthy self talk sounds like within you, and you've already looked at what healthy self talk sounds like. That means what is decreasing psychological safety within you, and means what is increasing psychological safety within you. And now, as you've increased your awareness, you can make a conscious choice to reiterate, reemphasize, and repeat that healthy self talk. You can address your unconscious loop behavior with healthy self talk, healthy thinking, and healthy behavior. You can literally make the conscious choice. I was with a client, this was several years ago, headquartered in McLean, Virginia, and there was a mobile initiative, a mobile web initiative that had just gotten stuck on some API calls that just seemed just frankly out of the ability of the development team that was on site. And they asked me just to coach the team. And so what I found myself doing is asking them, okay, well, how are you approaching your code base? Okay, how are we designing our approach? How well are we diagnosing the problem set? And the repeated answer I got from their manager was, we don't think about design. We're not UI UX. We just execute middleware. And he also said to me, we don't need your agile hippie voodoo over here. And I said, okay. Healthy self-talk, healthy thinking, healthy behavior. I didn't say this out loud, but I was thinking to myself, if we can get our developers in this scenario to just ask the question and give themselves the freedom to answer it with whatever logical steps they can, perhaps we will be able to move forward. The manager said, fine, have it your way. And he walked away in a huff. Well, not 2 weeks later, after we had just given ourselves permission to try something different, we gave ourselves some psychological safety to try something new, we stumbled on what it was our API calls need to make so that we would be successful in that mobile web example. I've literally watched this happen in real time. It's a very simple concept, but it's very powerful. When we think about our value web and we think about those relationships, maybe the healthy self-talk is coming from your boss. Maybe your healthy inspiration, hey, this could be great. Hey, you could make this work. The value could be inspiration, innovation, new ideas. And perhaps you're getting some unhealthy self-talk from a stakeholder, a very senior member of a leadership team that is saying it's impossible for this to work and we're not going to try it. And so you find yourself with both unhealthy and healthy self-talk that has to be dealt with. The fact that you are now a little bit more aware, and perhaps as you do this over and over again, iteratively, continually, you'll become more aware of what is influencing what you actually say to yourself. Is it unhealthy? Is it healthy? My encouragement to you is ask the question. Ask the question, why do you feel this is impossible? Why do you feel this is highly unlikely? Why do you feel this should not be? You know, should is a powerful word because we can actually whip ourselves, with should and should not be, and it actually becomes a punishment. Is the should making you healthy? In other words, is it giving you psychological safety, or is that should making you feel less psychologically safe? If it is, it's a part of what needs to be unlearned. As you increase your awareness with your self-talk log, you will naturally increase your influence. Remember what Dr. Patel said: passion, connectedness, not just obviously within yourself, but that connectedness within yourself is crucial. So you know what you're passionate about. You know what helps you feel psychologically safe. But you also increase influence with others as you connect with them and their passions. Self-talk shapes what you pay attention to, what you believe, and what you do. Your colleagues, your peers, those who are most familiar with you and your work, will notice a shift in your words and actions and want to follow you as you increase your awareness of what you must learn and what you unlearn, the unhealthy self-talk. What do you do with your newfound influence? It feels really good to watch it unfold. Let's make sure that we're scaling psychological safety. What do you do with your increased awareness of what influences you? When you think about the unhealthy self-talk, the relationships that influence that unhealthy self-talk, the values that are being, uh, you know, given to you, imputed to you from those relationships, let's make sure that we unlearn unhealthy self-talk. Now, you may say, hey, listen, it's my unhealthy self-talk is coming from my boss. Okay, I've been in that scenario. That means then the priority that you're giving to the unhealthy influence has to be reduced so that you're increasing the healthy influence from self-talk that either comes from another supervisor or a mentor, a colleague, or frankly, yourself. You might have to give yourself that healthy self-talk that counters that unhealthy lack of psychological safety. But whatever it is, whatever scenario you find yourself in, take time, look at your value web, and do the analysis. What is the unhealthy self-talk coming from? How do I increase the healthy self-talk? How do I increase the exposure to relationships and that reinforce the values that increase what I say to myself in a positive way? A habit construct that reinforces the values that I have that are positive and the values that I want that are positive. That's a crucial step.